Are you always tired? Are you disappointed with your lack of results? Are you worn out after the mess of a year that was 2020? Well, don't worry, because this video will help you turn your life around. Even if all of your past attempts to follow resolutions and reinvent yourself for the new year failed, this time you will have the tools to succeed. If you don't want to live the same old, boring life, never getting closer to achieving your dreams, listen closely. We're about to change everything. Hi, I'm Ria, a communications lead at a rising Y Combinator startup. On this channel, we're going to focus on how to excel in our first startup jobs by developing better work habits, networking within the company, and learning new skills. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 habits that you, yes you, can develop in order to reinvent yourself in the year 2021. We're going to jump right in, but before that, tea of the day. Our tea of the day is Organic Larder's Organic Black Tea because we're channeling our inner basic bitches today. Original. Before we can start talking about any specific habits, we need to develop our methodology for actually implementing these habits and making sure that they stick. For this, we're going to turn to Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit, and his system of cue, routine, and reward. First, we have the cue, and this is what triggers you to do the habit. For example, hearing your alarm ring in the morning. Then we have the routine, which is what you actually do once you encounter the cue. For example, pressing snooze and trying to sleep for 10 more minutes. And then we have the reward, something pleasurable that makes you continue repeating this habit over and over again. In this case, the sweet, sweet, delicious 10 extra minutes of sleep. In order to make sure that all of our habits are going to stick, we're going to define an example cue, an example routine, and an example reward for each habit. The routine is the important part. You can change the cue and the reward around to fit your liking, but I'm just going to give you examples to make life a little bit easier for you. Habit number 1, waiting before distraction. This habit is inspired by Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. You're sitting around, doing some work, or maybe even watching a TV show, but focusing on a task. And you feel yourself getting bored and distracted, so you reach for your phone. Your usual routine would be giving in and going to check Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, or whatever other social media or app you use to get rid of your boredom. Your new routine is going to be to count until 30. Before you're allowed to touch your phone. This is simply to create a pause between your desire to get distracted and the moment that you actually get distracted, and to give you the chance to reevaluate whether you want to go on social media right now or not. Your reward is to still check social media and receive that dopamine rush, but also knowing that you did that intentionally and that you've put a bit of time between the urge and the reward. Habit number 2, make a daily highlight. This is inspired by the book Make Time by John Zaratsky and Jake Knapp. You sit down to work in the morning, or you sit down to plan the next day in the evening. Instead of delving into your lengthy to-do list and getting completely overwhelmed and giving up on work entirely, pick one task, just one, that you absolutely must get done that day. Write it out on a sticky note and stick that sticky note somewhere in your workspace where you will see it when you sit down to work. Your reward is that anytime you complete your highlight for the day, you're allowed to have your favorite snack. Habit number 3, exercise for 10 minutes a day. You wake up and brush your teeth. Instead of lazing around watching TV or God forbid going back to bed, you will put on your exercise clothes and shoes and either get out the door and go running or pull out your yoga mat and exercise in the middle of your living room. Your reward would be a special smoothie that you're only allowed to have after you have exercised. Promise yourself that you will exercise for at least 10 minutes to deserve the smoothie, and if you do more, great, more smoothies for you. Habit number 4, make art when sad. Anytime you start feeling down, depressed, hopeless, or sad in any way, shape, or form, instead of going down a negativity spiral of self-hatred and self-sabotage, you will do something productive. Pick an activity that you like. Drawing, writing, making a YouTube video, dancing, whatever that is productive and creative and fits your fancy. That will be your routine. Do that for at least 30 minutes before you're allowed to give up and then go hate yourself on the couch. Your reward would be after doing 30 minutes of this creative activity, you're allowed to watch your favorite episode of your favorite show or any episode of your favorite show, or any episode of any show. I don't care. Just go watch something or do something pleasant that you haven't allowed yourself to do all day. Habit number 5, read before bed. Your cue would be it is half an hour before your bedtime. Your routine would be change into pajamas, brush your teeth, lie down in bed, and pick up whatever book you decided to read that should be arranged neatly on your nightstand. And then now you will read until you fall asleep or until it is your bedtime. Your reward would be a sweet, sweet, sweet productive sleep after reading a book. It's the best. Now that you have adopted 5 new habits to make you a better version of yourself, would you like to take that self-improvement journey further? If so, I'm linking to a playlist that actually includes a lot of videos for you to watch to take the next steps and truly become a better you tomorrow. Stay tuned. Bye bye.